Please, Jesus, please, little baby Jesus, please, can we just have a normal day? Just it's even something approaching normal would be good. Please, please. It's not going to be normal. It's not going to be normal. Jesus Christ.
Who is it?
It's me, Brett. It's Blade.
Why do you look so flustered already?
Well, because every time I fucking show up here, you're in the middle of some crazy ass shit. Like you were building a fucking tiki bar. And then we had to do all that cleanup before we even started taping the show. And, you know, this takes some effort. And then last week you had all of these fucking cats with fucking little headsets on. Fucking selling Charmin.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You did a really good job getting the cat smell out of here. How'd you do that?
Are you feeling okay?
Where are the
Did you take anything
cats that
before?
had the headsets? They had the headsets in.
All right, I'm gonna see if our buddy Blade here needs any medication because he seems to be hallucinating.
There was cats with Sean.
But we'll be right back after these messages.
Where are the cats?
Hi, I'm Brett Michelle from the world-famous podcast The Hard Way with me, Brett Michelle. And I'm here to raise awareness about a grave new illness threatening the well-being of so many IWC members. The Smarks. Well, you may not have heard of this dastardly new virus, but symptoms are hard to miss and include overuse of insider terms such as mark, incessant rage baiting, obsessively poring over Meltzer star ratings, gatekeeping, overuse of the phrase never drew a dime in the business, agreeing with Eric Bischoff, screaming bad booking into the void without offering an alternative, claiming a company buried a talent anytime they lose a match, and many others. If this sounds like you, then it might be time to talk to your doctor about the cure. That's right. If you find yourself struggling with the smarks, a weekly dose of the Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out podcast is just what you need. With Blade Daily and Joshi G every Saturday, they'll have you feeling tip-top in no time. So tune in wherever you stream your shows. Side effects include diarrhea, nausea, sensitivity to light, numbness in the hands and feet, chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, bed sores, canker sores, athlete's foot, toe jam, toe jelly, flailing limbs, coffee breath, dandruff, constipation, fatigue, fungus, cramps, bloody stool, excessive drooling, sensitive teeth, scabbing, scabies, rabies, scurvy, tetanus, and more. Ask your doctor if SD Sumo is right for you. Brought to you by the folks at Sickos Club.
This is what I find hilarious about this entire thing is Donald Trump is supposed to be this like all-powerful fucking dude, but just the guy in fucking El Salvador just says no. And he literally appeared with Trump on TV. Like, hey, here's my little cuck, Donald. Donald, no, I won't return him. Like, Donald just like cucked himself on fucking TV today. Like, what the fuck is he even doing?
It's insane. And then you had fucking Triple Paul licking the nuts earlier. I saw that. That got me.
Triple P. Yeah.
Just former Conan cosplayer who wore blackface once on TV as a Nazi. Yeah. Shocking. It's a shocking bit of
defiled a corpse.
Yeah. Yes. It's a shocking revelation, but
rest in peace, Katie Vick.
He's really stupid. Like,
oh yeah.
Paul is actually kind of stupid. He's not very smart. Like Vince is a lot smarter than Paul.
And that's sad, isn't it? That's sad.
Oh yeah.
Vince is really dumb in a lot of ways. Did you see Linda McMahon was calling AI A1?
Huh?
What the
I did.
What?
I was like, my daddy would have been proud of that. He
A1 steak sauce fucking stocks are through the roof.
Yeah. I mean, look, I fucking love A1, okay? Like, put that shit on a steak, right? I love that shit. But
ew,
like,
no, you don't put A1 on a steak.
I do.
Whoa, here we go. Here we go.
No.
You must be eating some cheap steak. If you got a good steak, you don't need fucking sauce on it.
What the fuck do you put on a steak?
Nothing.
Do you eat it raw?
Well, no, I cook it. Raw doesn't mean no stuff on it. I season it.
With?
And then you cook it in the pan with butter and garlic.
Pan? No, I mean.
Like the fucking the cast iron.
Full disclosure, I haven't eaten a steak in like 10 years.
Damn.
Hey, knock knock.
Who's there, Brett?
A malicious sexual predator, a family annihilator, a batshit transphobe, a Trump cabinet member, and a whole slew of other MAGA collaborators.
Wrestlemania 17?
That's right! We're talking about Wrestlemania 17 today. And we have Troubles Weekly. I don't know your real name. Do you have a real name?
Hello there. My name is Corey. You know, I'm going to put that out there. Yeah.
I'm going to call you Troubles. Should we call you Troubles?
I knew that because you sent me an email with your name in it one time.
Yeah. And I was like, well, that happened. And I didn't care. It's not really that big of a deal.
Well, hello. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Yes. I am Corey Troubles Weekly Johnson Jr. And I do little podcasts. I do, of course, TWW, Troubles with Weekly Wrestling, which is my main thing, where I just do like 30 minutes lightning round of, lately it's been Collision and whatever bullshit's going on in AEW or New Japan. And coming out this week, I got From Crockett to Chaos coming out.
Yes.
The coolest thing I've ever done in my life with old JIMDB, our homie. He was incredible. Never had done a podcast in his life. I was like, wow, okay.
He's got the personality for it. Yeah, he's a guy meant for that kind of shit. Yeah.
I love that there's just a Sickos Club network of podcasts.
That's basically what we are now. We are just a bunch of podcasters that hang out together, that are either future or present podcasters. That is what we are.
I love it. Yeah. Facilitating creative juices.
It is. It's cool.
That's what Sickos Club does. We squeeze the juice out of you.
We mine your juices. We
milk you of the
milk your juice. And that reminds me, Brett, people should go to sickosclub.com and check out all of our fine blogs, all of our fine audios that we make, all of the fine mercantile transactions that can be made, including...
Because there is a difference between capitalism and commerce.
That's correct.
Yep.
And we're the... commerce, right? We're
the second one. We're the good one.
Yeah. That's what we are. And if you go there right now, we're doing a little fundraiser for our friends over at the ACLU. And we want you to support them by pile driving fascism. Brett has made a badass design that says pile drive fascism, and it's basically a Brett-like person pile driving a fascist, and it's on a t-shirt, it's on a print. You can buy the shit, you can put it on a wall, you can put it on your chest, you can put it up your ass. Whatever you do, kids, make sure you get yourself one, because all the profits go to the goddamn ACLU. Buy it today. Available till April 20th, 4/20.
Or are you a piece of shit? That's the thing.
Yeah.
That was beautiful, Blade.
You're welcome.
That was incredible.
Did you practice that? Were you waiting for that moment?
I didn't know. It just started kind of pouring out.
It just came out of you?
I was like the little engine that could. I was like, like it started picking up steam kind of like as I was going.
Yeah, no, that was really good. That was delightful.
Thanks.
Anyway.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we're talking about...
Trouble said it well, like buy the shirt or be a piece of shit.
Yeah,
there's that too.
You could pick one. You should pick the purchase one so I can pay my bills.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, this money doesn't go to me.
It doesn't go to you. It's for
no,
charity.
It doesn't actually go to you.
Well, depending on what they get, like if they get a Sickos Club T-shirt,
double down is what I would say. Double down
just
on
buy more than one thing.
Buy everything on the fucking thing.
Just buy stuff. Just go in there. Just Just close your eyes and click. Keep clicking the buy now.
Let the feeling hit you.
Also be aware that we are far too small to engage in any kind of charity scam yet.
Yeah.
Probably in the future.
Yeah.
Probably in the future, but not yet. All profits go to the ACLU. We need them.
For the pile driver.
Yes.
They
not
would.
Not for everything. But
not for
that
everything.
one.
Just the pile drive fascism stuff. They would defend my right to say that, by the way.
They would, because it's starting to seem like it might not be okay to say that out loud soon.
They got the camps in El Salvador getting ready to fucking pop off.
Can't get them. I don't know how we would get them.
Dude, yeah, come on.
We're funding the camp. I don't know how we would get them out of there.
Do that to American citizens, we wouldn't throw them in camps. We've never done that before. Oh wait, but
my little hometown, Puyallup, has the Puyallup Fair, which is the far and away the most significant thing about where I grew up, and it was an internment camp for Asian Americans during World War II.
You know what's funny? I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, okay, well, like, if Civil War starts or whatever, like, it'll probably be the red states first that go, right? Like, but then I was like, wait a minute, I don't know. I'm, like, right on the border. If they, like, that could be the what they do first.
yeah.
We worry about Civil War in this country a lot, but this country's a lot bigger than the last time we had a Civil War. And there's a lot of land in America that isn't actually.
Did we grow more land?
Oh yeah, we took more land.
We
Like
grew
the
more
Oregon
crops.
Trail.
Yeah, Manifest
We actually-
Destiny, all that dysentery.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
actually did not. Yeah, you would die, and we didn't grow land, Brett. But what we did actually was we somehow grew crimes and got more land. So that checks out. Actually, that does track.
Growth is on a continual upswing when it comes to white collar crime in America. That is one of our greatest exports.
I mean, my grandfather is buried in the Iroquois National Cemetery, so
Holy shit.
technically I belong here more than anyone else. So fuck all of you.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel
no,
that.
for sure. I'm an Irish piece of shit. You can definitely.
Hey, I've got that too.
Yeah. Oh, great. So I can't claim anything.
That's
Fuck
why
off, Brett.
that's why I used to booze so hard. You know, I had Irish Native American. I just love drinking.
I mean, yeah. No, I mean, you got it bad. So anyway, we're talking about WrestleMania 17 today.
We are. Thanks for. That's my job to say.
Well, you were taking.
They had their own manifest destiny in that, by the way. WWF just sort of came in and went, "Hey, we own WCW. You guys can't really do anything with it, so we're going to take it, and then we're going to have WrestleMania and not really mention you at all."
As Paul
like
Heyman
that.
tap danced away from ECW, leaving his entire roster in deep debts, while he just parachuted into WWF. Oh,
But you know what?
Look at me! I'm
I
fine.
love that because I thought so the reason we're talking about this is because this is both mine and Trouble's favorite WrestleMania of all time.
I think so.
And like for me, part of it I think is Paul Heyman on commentary because that was one of the first like pay-per-views he was doing commentary on around that time because this was like a week after they bought WCW. After Shane McMahon bought WCW.
I bought my competition.
There's McMahon on the contract, but it's not Vince. That was great.
It says McMahon, but it's not.
You know what? Yeah, as a
McMahon.
kid, that was pretty wild though. Like
It
I gotta
was.
admit, like
The
seeing that on
simulcast-
TV. Like
The simulcast was this is the WrestleMania where I say the Attitude Era. This WrestleMania was the end of the Attitude Era.
Yep.
It's where it
Easily.
ends. And I would almost agree that it's the greatest, but I was at WrestleMania 19, so to me, that's kind of like
ooh, yeah.
Dude, that's right there, probably 2 for me, by the way. So when
on
you
an
mentioned
in-ring
it-
basis, I think it's superior, but
Yeah.
I think the developments of this one and where the industry was at the time were bigger for 17. So
Well, 17, because this one, so they buy WCW like a week before, and then we get like some great WCW talent, like on the Wrestlemania card, like right away. Like Eddie Guerrero wins the European Championship. Like,
but he had defected already. So like they bought WCW, but the people who were still in WCW when they bought it were just up in the stands. They got shown up in the stands, and that was about it. But Eddie and Benoit and Malenko and Saturn had all come about
not from that long though.
About a year before.
Was it a year?
Yeah, it was a year.
Wow, I don't remember. How old
February 2000.
Yeah, so I was 12 years old. I was 12 years old.
Oh, I was when that happened. I was 11 years old.
I was 11 when they came over, but for WrestleMania 17, I was 12. Okay.
How old are you, Blade?
One of you.
Were you in a box
Brett,
then?
You're 37, right?
Yes.
I'm 45.
Allegedly.
So
no, I'm 24.
I'm 8 years
forever.
older than you, and I was 21. So
damn.
So I was 21, cool so you couldn't have been 12 is the point. You were like,
I was born in 1988.
Okay, that checks. Yeah, because I'm 36. And
wait, no, I was 13.
Oh, shit. There we go.
I was 13.
You were off by a year, and I'm going to catch your ass, okay?
Old.
Because I'm not that much older than you fuckers.
I was 13 years old. All right, let's get into some of this WrestleMania, okay?
He's handsome.
Jesus Christ.
Can we talk about, so the opening match, we had Chris Jericho versus fucking William Regal.
Yes,
in a banger. In a banger. Yeah. And the only note I wrote down when I was watching this again last night was Chris Jericho might have had like my favorite tight game in wrestling as a kid.
Oh,
Chris Jericho was a cool looking motherfucker.
Yeah.
I mean, he just was a cool looking dude.
Like, I was watching this last night and thinking to myself, wow, like, because I'm real big into like creating wrestlers on 2K. And I'm like, wow, yeah, all of my tight designs are like, I need something as cool as Chris Jericho's were as a kid. I'm realizing like how much that motherfucker's tight game was like what I was looking for week to week. Because he had like a rotation, you know? Like he wasn't one of those dudes who wore the same tights every week. Like he had the fucking red, black and white, like Eddie Van Halen barbed wire ones. Yeah. Yes. He had the fucking green lightning bolt ones. He had like the pink ones. Yeah. Like, dude, he had the coolest tight game in the game at the time.
So there's a running joke that we have in the Sickos Club, the really deep Sickos Club, okay? Sickos Club Underground, where Shane Ethos is a big fan of the concept that the best wrestlers wear kick pads with long tights.
Yes!
And
I love it.
I think that actually comes from Jericho. That's a Jericho thing. Yeah. Is like, he made that look popular. He's the one. He brought that over from Japan.
I think so.
And like, he's been copied a million times over, his look. Like, look at Will Ospreay, look at Kenny Omega, look at all those guys. Yeah. Like,
I think Ring of Honor as a concept began with that, right? Like, everybody had either or kick pads and long, cool tights. Or baggy tights.
And
it's such a badass look.
To tie it all in, Ring of Honor was a young upstart promotion, just starting to be a twinkle in its very, very problematic father's eye during this time. Rob Feinstein, fuck you, buddy. Fuck you.
Oh, yeah, that was a bad one.
Regal, though, man, I loved him so much
was great.
As a villain.
Oh, he was great.
Especially when they, you remember when they switched his music to that real, like, Darth Vader, like, boom, boom. Oh my gosh, dude. Like, so badass. I love that so much.
The thing about Regal that I've always appreciated was as good as he is in the ring. Like, he was a real hooker. Like, he could, like, snap.
He's a hooker.
Not that kind, bro. He could
catch
snap
William Regal on OnlyFans.
All right. we can all dream, but let's not, okay? Let's try to stay focused. Otherwise, we're all going to have to get off this call and get back on. Anyway, Regal could hurt anybody he wanted to. Like, he's that kind of guy, you know, UK.
Power of the punch, baby.
Yeah. But he understood comedy so well. And I mean, one of my favorite wrestling clips is Regal using the power of the punch on Big Show. Big Show hitting the ropes and just falling on top of him and pinning him. That's good shit. That's good shit.
Him and Booker T, when they had like their little duo run together, it was hilarious.
Oh, I loved it.
Oh,
Booker
hail King Booker!
Booker T and anybody, like, because even Booker T's like thing with Gold Dust was fucking hilarious.
Good. It was so good.
Unbelievable.
Look, I don't care what anybody says about Booker T today. Okay, like I get it. I'm not the biggest fan, but that dude was a great wrestler. Like, absolutely. Yeah. He's one of my favorites ever from that era. Like, he is super good. And him and Regal, when Charmel and Regal and all of them were together, like, all hail King
and
Booker.
Fit was with them. He was the heater. Everyone forgets the best part about that little. What did they even call that, by the way? Was that just the King's Court?
I forget.
But man, that was when SmackDown ruled.
I actually
was hurt.
I wasn't watching at that time. I had to go back and watch since I came back came back in like 2012. So that was over. But like, you know, Booker losing at WrestleMania 19 was one of the fucking reasons I started drifting. Like, I was just like, man, these guys really don't know how to stick the landing.
Paul's questionable.
Yeah. Also, have you guys ever seen that thing about The Rock telling Paul, like, hey, I don't want you guys to show up in blackface because I think that's racist, and Paul telling him why it's not?
Yeah.
Paul told him why it's not. Interesting. Why was it not to Paul?
Who fucking knows? Wasn't
it something of like, well, they won't know that it's supposed to be like Mark Henry or like one of the, I'm like,
I forget what the logic was, but it's just like, bro, like, wow.
Oh,
no, man.
Next match.
Anyway, it's a good match. It's a solid match. It's a good opener.
Yeah.
Jericho wins the Intercontinental title, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
With the lion salt.
With the lion salt.
I like that it was the lion salt finish and not just the lion tamer situation.
Well, he was trying to get him in the walls like the whole match, and he couldn't get it. So then he hit that.
I gotta say, lion tamer way better than the walls of Jericho. Like,
I agree. Yeah.
The Boston Crab just in America, like they fucking make it work in Japan with the young boys and shit, but like. You can't do it in America as a finish. It just doesn't make sense. I
liked it. I was a big Jericho mark as a kid.
I am too. So I just wish he had a better finisher. That's all I'm saying. He tried. Okay. He tried other finishers. They just didn't really work. One was actually
he was doing the code breaker for
before that. If you look when he was champion, the unified champion.
I was there the night he won that.
Holy shit.
San Diego.
Awesome.
Okay. That's sick.
San Diego. I was there.
Dope. Sorry, everybody. We are just going to stream of consciousness this shit. But
like Jericho, every episode.
Nobody that's in our little Discord is shocked by any of this.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah. Also, we're talking about the Discord publicly. Which
I have ADHD. We get. There's no.
You're also getting high while we're taping this, so I mean, I
do that every episode.
Whoa, what? Come on.
I mean, let it be known that like every episode, I'm just over here like ripping bowls the entire time. So
it is true. But what I was going to say is Jericho did have a different finish for a little while, and he actually beat The Rock with it at the Royal Rumble after he won the championship. And you know what it is? It's basically the skull crushing finale.
Oh my God, you're right. Yeah.
It's like he did it for a very brief time, but
I forgot about that.
But basically he couldn't do the lion tamer to the guys in WWE because they were all too tall and they were all like they were all bigger than he was. So like,
And he
you
wasn't.
kind of have to be able to dominate somebody's body to do a lion tamer.
Yeah.
But I loved when he brought it back when he was in New Japan. That was a lot of fun. I love the lion tamer. That's the coolest variation of a Boston Crab I've ever seen. That looks like a finisher.
It sucks that, like, because, like, I mean, whatever you feel about Jericho, I mean, it's obvious, like, not a lot of people are excited to see him anymore, which is a bummer, man, because I really do think he was, like, one of my guys as a kid,
Jericho was my unadulterated
absolutely.
fave till, like, I stopped watching. Like, when I actually stopped watching because he left the first time. When Cena beat him.
that was right around the time I kind of stopped watching as well.
I tell people this. Imagine Triple H never gets the main event run and they give it to Jericho instead.
Very real possibility with that one, too.
Well, when he showed up on Raw, man, like, that was a moment. Like,
oh, it was a moment.
They could have, like, I kind of hate that they had, like, Rock kind of, like, just kill him. But I mean, it worked for, like, the character he was, But man, I
was
wish
pissed. I was
mad.
That,
with all that lead up and everything, like, man, they could have had him just to the moon. Like, I think he could have gotten over more than Rock if they would have.
I think Jericho, Austin, and Rock could have been like the big three. Like Jericho, no matter.
Well, that's why I was super excited at Vengeance, because that's kind of what it was with Kurt Angle in there too.
I was always pulling for Jericho.
Out.
I was always pulling for Jericho, and I really think like Jericho is so much more charismatic and engaging and more versatile than Triple H. That
of course
you don't have the reign of terror, but you do have Jericho at the top, where he's like you're kind of one of the two or three guys you're going back to over and over again with like Angle and Rock. Austin retires, no big deal. You still have, but I don't think they're shedding viewers the way they were with Triple H on top.
Yeah,
I agree.
All right, so that was one match. One match.
We go from that. You shut your mouth.
I'm rambling as much as anyone, and I'm not.
We have a little segment with the APA and Jackie. Jacqueline. I loved Jacqueline. She was such a badass. She was always like hanging out with the APA in the back, smoking fucking big old stoves, drinking beer. Like she ruled. But okay.
How much you want to bet that was a blunt?
We had the Right to Censor versus Taz and the APA. Which random.
I will say the APA was the best version of Bradshaw ever.
Dude, I was a big APA mark.
It was a great gimmick.
I loved them as a gimmick. Yeah, just like the mercenary backstage dudes hanging out, drinking beer, playing cards. You fucking go up, give them $20, and they'll beat someone's ass. Like,
I love when they set up. They would be just in the backstage area, and they would have a door frame set up. And if you went around and started talking to them, they're like, "You got to come in through the door." Like,
that's good.
You know
Ron
who they
Simmons
reminded
at that
me
point,
of?
he's like getting close to retirement. And so like, this is a great way for Ron's career to wind down. Bradshaw was really funny in this role.
Yeah.
Way better than JBL.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? Have y'all seen Devil's Rejects, the zombie movie, Rob Zombie movie?
A long time ago.
The APA was the same to me as fucking, what was his name, Hondo and the other dude, Danny Trejo and our boy DDP. They were just like the badass, like rock and roll mercenary dudes who were just drinking beer. Fucking
hear this guy? Like that kind of shit. Yeah, for sure. Just fucked up. Don't care.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think of Right to Censor back then?
Ooh, it was topical, so I got why they did it, because at the time people forget the woman's or the mother's organizations were out against them again and kind of really in full force.
The Parents Television Council was really big at the time.
There we go. I didn't remember.
I think the smartest thing they did to really get over as heels was their button-ups were short sleeve.
Yes. And everyone hates that, you know.
Because there's nothing dorkier than a short sleeve white button up, you know?
Troubles, you had more to say. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, I just that, you know, it made sense why they would do that as a heel group. I definitely was like, man, what a weird, just motley crew. You know, it was very obvious that it really was at the time the group they threw everyone they had fuck all for in. You know,
okay,
but we don't know what to do with Godfather
you know what?
anymore.
I thought there was a good like thought behind it. You know,
There
they
was.
they had the ex porn star. You know,
That's
they
true,
had
that's true.
they had the pimp. I don't know why Ivory was just like a bitch. Like that was Ivory's character.
But Ivory was a prude.
Ivory's character, no matter like where she was in her career, I feel like her character was just bitch. Like,
or she was a baby face. And so like,
Yeah.
but like, okay, so check
but
this
still
out.
a bitch.
So Ivory lives in Friday Harbor in Washington. And if I knew where she lived, I would show up there and
There's a place called Friday Harbor.
yeah.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
That
That's
sounds
great.
like somewhere
I would
that
show up there-
Jimmy Buffett would live.
And I
or
would offer
Sammy
like,
Hagar.
Ivory, do you want to go to the Golden Arches? Like Wendy's is love, but McDonald's is serious interest. Okay. I loved Ivory. Now, I will say they clearly had big plans for the right to censor because the video game that came out that year,
Yeah.
the main character in the story mode is Stevie Richards as the right to censor guy. I think they wanted to
was
build
that
him.
SmackDown or which SmackDown was that?
That was like
Dude,
it
those
wasn't Bring the
games,
Pain.
those
the one before-
games. I gotta say, those SmackDown series of video games, like, has so much to do with like how like deep into pro wrestling fans.
I think that's true for a lot of people.
Because I watched the show and I loved the show and everything, but as a kid, like I would play those because you know we had Raw on Monday, SmackDown on Thursday, Heat on Sunday, and every day in between, I was just playing the SmackDown games.
Yep, me
like,
too.
all
Me too.
day.
Loved being Eddie Guerrero.
Oh yeah.
I loved being
Great
Eddie.
one, yes.
But I would say
I'm a huge Taz mark, so that was my
yeah,
guy.
me too.
Yeah,
I love
yeah. Well, Taz was in this
Fucking
match.
Taz plexing.
Taz.
Well, I
is
mean,
in there.
he was listed in the match. He didn't do much.
Well,
This was so sad.
it's so weird. Like, I don't really know like where the truth is on this. Like, Vince didn't know how to book Taz. I totally
No, Taz is. I mean, he was great on commentary. Like, cool that we found out that Taz was like a killer commentator. But yeah, his run was very disappointing because I was fucking hyped when they had him come in, choke out fucking Kurt Angle at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and his undefeated streak.
Yeah, and then he just like, what the fuck? They had
Well,
that
and-
weird fucking story with him in Lawler.
Yes.
And
Oh
then
God,
he
I
was the
hated that.
commentator.
I hated that. And then but apparently he was just very fucking injured. So like you know, I remember they announced his retirement like on WWE.com. Like it was he just said I literally cannot wrestle anymore. And so I just don't know if he was up to it or if he just saw the writing on the wall and realized like why beat up my body if I'm just going to be a job guy in WWE. I can make the same money as a commentator. And then Taz became one of the greatest color commentators of all time.
Well, I think there was definitely people who came from WCW or ECW that it seemed like Vince was just like, well, you're not one of our guys, so you're here to lose to our guys.
I think that was Jericho too. That was. I mean, I think Jericho. You know, in his books, he talks.
Well, I mean, Vince even up through like when Sting came, like Vince had this like. It's so fitting that him and the MAGA crowd are like simpatico because it's the same kind of mindset where it's like
pettiness and cruelty.
No matter how much it seems like they've moved on from like a grudge, it still is something that they will find a way to bring up as much as possible throughout the rest of their life. And Vince had this up until he was gone. Like he had to keep reiterating that we beat WCW. You know what I mean?
Trubs, we got to have you back on another episode because I do think we should devote an entire episode to the many undeserved terrible wins of Triple H.
Oh,
And,
yes.
like how they like ruined the forward momentum of characters. Like,
So you just mean Raw in 2003? Yeah, man.
basically, yeah.
And how that literally created Evolution. So there is a little good byproduct with that, with Orton and Batista.
Right.
But definitely not what Triple H wanted. And you could tell he did not want to put those two over.
No.
Yeah.
No. And I think, I mean, the guy is just like such a menace when it comes to the development of American wrestling in the 2000s. I mean, he drove people away from the product in droves. However, I just wanted to get back to Right to Censor for 1 second. I have one more point to make about it.
Dude.
This was the last bit of really funny, inspired booking by WWE. Like, there was a lot of bad shit from the Attitude Era where gimmicks were racist or misogynist or homophobic or whatever they were, right? Like, don't get it twisted. Goldust was a homophobic character, okay? But
we just had King Dustin who played it with grace, and
he did.
and
He played it with some respect. And I applaud Dustin for that.
We
Goldust
love
is
Dustin.
He's
We
an
love
iconic
Dustin.
character.
Oh, of course.
Kamala is a racist gimmick as well, and I love Kamala. But I do actually love Kamala because I think the guy who played him, James Harris, was so good. But this was like that.
We get a Kamala appearance at this WrestleMania.
We do.
Yes.
But I think this was like such a cool like gimmick in that the Godfather became the good father.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
And the Stooges were like this too, like Patterson and Briscoe. Like,
I love that.
These these over the top caricatures of human beings.
Yes.
That were funny. And when WWE landed the funny stuff, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And I think the Right to Censor actually stands up. Ivory was fantastic
Oh my God.
as being a fucking prude. She was great at it.
Ivory was one of my favorite women's wrestlers as a kid. You know, because I mean, back then women's wrestling in WWE was relegated to mostly bra and panty bullshit.
Right.
You know, just an excuse for attractive women to be half naked and Vince to come on to them. But Ivory was great, you know, like, cause she was sexy. Like she was like a gorgeous, you know, and I know that was a big thing for WWE, but like it wasn't what she was known for as a wrestler, you know, like, and maybe it was cause she was always playing kind of heelish characters a little bit. But, like, she was just a wrestler. Like, she was a badass, you know? Like, she wasn't someone who was strictly there to look good. Like, she was a fucking... Like, if they would have put her... Like, if she would have came up with, like... With, you know, with Becky and all of them when the women's division really started getting going. Like, I think she would have been a top grappler.
Absolutely.
She was a wrestler first.
Yeah.
She was on Glow. Like she was in the actual business and like really slumming it when in the really dark days of like the early 90s when there was LPW for a little while and then you had to go to Japan if you wanted to be a women's wrestler. And so like, you know, that's how like people like Tori, you know, she was Terry Power before that. And she was over in AJW, you know, there were Medusa before she was in WCW. That's where she was. She was in the AWA before it went out of business. You know, I mean, it's women's wrestling was tough in those days. And so
which
for
is
Ivory,
unfortunate.
10 years almost after Glow to like finally get a moment like that, which we'll get to later. That was pretty incredible that it worked out for her.
I will say, I loved Bradshaw's clothesline from hell.
Oh, it was great.
The
it
way
looked real
he
as
was
fuck,
like,
man.
Like this one, especially the way he hit it. I forget who he hits it on to close the match. But I love, whips a guy into the corner. Dude bounces off while Bradshaw gets his bounce off the rope, and then just takes your fucking head off. Oh, it always looks so cool. So cool. Loved the APA. I will say, my quote of the match was Jackie with the DDT on old White Sox. JR sometimes, dude, JR was so good back then.
Back in the day.
Oh my God.
Like,
Jackie with the DDT on old White Sox.
As much as I may criticize JR now, like, that dude was so good. He was, his guy was Gordon Soley, and
he eclipsed him.
I heard Gordon towards the very end of his career. Like, he would call WCW sometimes. But Jim, he's my guy. Like, he'll always be the voice
he was the voice
wrestling.
of my childhood,
Well, I'll say this,
bitch.
Yeah. Good God. My favorite JR line ever, because he is literally two things. I am also Native American as well, Muskogee.
Yeah.
So Muskogee Nation, and the capital, of course, was JR's my favorite line he ever did. It's like a payday in Muskogee here. Love it. Love it. Understand it as well. I understand it 100%.
Yes.
I watch a lot of old wrestling because I've been doing From Crockett to Chaos. And so I'll say this, I've heard Gordon Soley in his prime. Thank God. Tapes have been resurfaced. I've heard Lance Russell. He's probably my second favorite ever.
I actually like him more than Gordon myself. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to say Gordon's a very close third, but I think JR eclipses anyone ever of all time, because even, before WWF, he was already the best. I think those Flair calls, and I'll tell you, him and Sting, Flair and Sting, 88 Clash of Champions. So it's like here, it was later in his career, but he just, even as like the guy that was doing talent relations, he still had the energy to just be like, let's fucking go. That's fucking awesome.
And you know what? I think it always came through that, like, he just always, like, you knew he was a good dude, like, because he was always the straight guy more than the the heel, whatever, but like, I don't know, there was like an innocence to JR, like whenever they would put him in a position where he was in trouble or something, like you really felt for like JR, and like if Lawler was going off, getting all his horny shit out, like he was the one like standing up for the ladies and stuff, like JR was almost like the moral compass.
He was. JR was the moral compass. And the thing about Jim is not just like he's so good at his job, is like all the funny JR-isms. Like if somebody played college football, you were going to hear about it. If somebody had even been to college, you were going to hear about it. Like, well, Shane Douglas looking real good in the ring. He's got a bachelor's degree. Anyway, backdrop, like on a backdrop. Like he just,
oh my God, he had modified something when he didn't know the name.
Right. Modified Kung Fu chop. When JR doesn't know what to call something. Like, I loved how Don Callis was on Dynamite recently, and he called something a judo chop, and Taz goes, "Don, God damn it, there is no judo chops. Judo chops don't even exist." Like, but everybody said judo chops since I was a kid, I didn't know that judo didn't have chops, but anyway, JR was always trying to
Austin Powers, man, that's where we all got it from.
Yes, and JR is sprung from the Bill Watts learning tree, so like
JR is sprung.
He's always trying. You've been on his Twitter, have you not? But he is he's a thirsty boy. He's a thirsty boy.
I don't have X. What if
apologize, Rebel.
What if JR was when because on Threads you can like see people's like replies to other people.
Yeah.
You go on JR's and it's just him and like ladies like, I'm single, call me.
No, I mean for real. He's like liking the sexy pics and like commenting with just like sexy emotes and stuff.
My God.
But like he, so he's derived from the Bill Watts school of like, you got to make the business seem legitimate, you know? So we got, if we have a star wrestler, if we have a star football player, we got to highlight that. And it's really pronounced in WCW, and he gets further and further away from it in WWE. But it's so funny, like some of the shit good, JR will say. But I love JR, man.
All right, so Taz and the Acolytes win that match, even though there was like no Taz in the match. And then we get to one of my favorite matches of the night, fucking Raven versus Big Show versus Kane for the Hardcore Championship. Yep. Which, when I was a kid, man, I loved the Hardcore Championship because I liked ECW. Like, I was all into that hardcore shit. Like, and I loved that it was a belt that just switched hands, like sometimes multiple times a night. Like, you would just have these recurring segments of characters, like when Crash Holly, that was the best. Like, they would find him at like an amusement park, like a burger restaurant. Like, you know, they would just, everywhere.
Crash Holly ruled. Crash Holly is the reason Bob Holly had a job so long. Like,
literally.
Yeah.
The Hollies were so fun, but like Crash coming with a big scale and being announced at 400 pounds.
Yeah.
And like, that was another like, that was another like classic WWE being on top of their game kind of thing. But this match is low key. Like, I'm serious. Like, not because it's a great match. It's just entertaining as hell.
Oh my God.
It's one of my favorite WrestleMania matches just because it's so entertaining. You can watch it.
It is. Like, it's literally the whole match is backstage pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, it starts a little bit like in the ring, but then fucking Kane ends up throwing Raven outside on Big Show, who just catches him and like sets him down.
Yes.
But then they just take the fight backstage, and like, man, they knew how to use everything around them. Like, even to like the little thing of like, there was a part where Kane smashes Big Show's head like onto one of the tables, but Big Show purposefully like hits to where lettuce just goes flying everywhere.
Yeah.
Like they hit these timing like spots in this match where I'm just like, Jesus, these guys are like, it was like a slapstick. That's what it was. It was slapstick.
Raven, as I've gotten more familiar with the person Raven, like when he had his podcast and stuff, like, for one, I'm a massive Raven mark. Okay. I love Raven.
Same.
This was the last night I felt like there was any hope for him in WWE, but, literally the minute this match ended, there was no hope, but, but
you know why though, right? There's actually a fairly decent reason why.
Well, I mean, he was like super fucked up, wasn't he?
No, it's a spot. It's a spot in the match. Did you know?
They almost took out the feed, right?
The whole golf cart thing. He literally almost took the entire power supply out of WrestleMania.
He did have a 400-pound man on his cart.
Right.
Like,
it's not his
fault. It's kind of hard to blame
the
Raven for that
spot. When fucking
love that.
when he fucking Kane's in the fucking golf cart and he runs Raven over like
His fucking leg. Oh,
and then
Raven goes through a fucking window. Like,
I mean, and that shitty wall that they built that they all go through, that's obviously fake.
One of my favorite spots in that is when Big Show and Kane go through the wall, and then Raven just walks in through the door, picks up the table, and just throws it at them.
yeah.
But okay, so this is where I was going when he had his podcast. Remember the Jericho network of shows back in the day. So when he had that show, I really understood. He loves slapsticky, stupid bullshit. Like, Raven will tell you to this day that the greatest worker of all time was Jerry Lawler because he knew how to not do shit in a match and get everybody to react to it. And so Raven was a great psychologist, and I think he was the general of this match. I think he was really the one directing a lot of traffic. But really everybody came through in this one, and it's just so much fun.
I love that, like, since they're not, like, in the ring, you know, so you're actually hearing more of them. Like, just the whole match is literally all you can hear is Big Show, like, grunting. Oh! Like, it's so funny. Yeah. It kills me. Like, all I could think of was like, God, that's probably what his wife hears.
This is Big Show in his very, like, strong divorced dad era where he's like, let his body go. Vince is always mad at him. Like, he's like been a massive disappointment so far.
One of my favorite, like, gimmicks from the era was disheveled Paul White.
Yeah.
Like, his hair was just a mess.
He's losing the hair, but he doesn't want to let it go yet. And it's just,
he just looked like shit. Like,
he had been in OVW
but that
for a
was
while.
the gimmick. His gimmick was literally that he just looks like shit.
And that he didn't give a fuck anymore. Yeah. Totally. And he had, you know, I mean, he had put on a lot of size. He was nowhere near as athletic. Like, he was smoking cigarettes. I mean, it was just bad.
Yeah.
And so, It was Big Show at one of his lower moments of his career. You know, he would get it together at some point, but
when Kurt Angle shot him with a dart is one of my favorite wrestling moments ever.
My God, that was unbelievable. When they shaved his head like a literal just animal. Like, you're not even a human. And you know Vince was in the back just screaming at him.
Just cackling. My God.
Like a big fat bear.
Like the disgusting pig you are. Holy shit. Poor Paul, man.
Poor Paul, man. Big Show was such a good sport, dude.
Oh, my God.
But I will say, so the match ends. Kane leg drops. Kane pushes the Big Show and Raven off the ramp or off the stage.
Hits him with that big old leg drop.
They fall through a table. Then he hits a big ass leg drop just onto this pit of human despair.
Nothing.
Like, what's a leg drop gonna do at that point? Like,
holy shit!
Like,
just seeing Kane do that that fucking leg drop of death. Like, oh, it's
well, and
hilarious.
also kind of funny because he doesn't jump even. He just kind of falls off the stage. Like, and he pins these guys who are already dead. And
which,
wins
you know,
the hardcore, the very prestigious hardcore title.
For a big man, Kane was super agile. Like, when he used to do that kind of flipping clothesline off the top rope, like, dude, Kane had a good move.
Kane was an impressive athlete, no doubt.
Shitty politics, great fucking wrestler.
Really bad person.
Yeah.
Dumb dude, but
one of my favorite wrestling characters, though. You know?
It was so funny when people would be like, you know, Glenn Jacobs is one of the smartest guys in the locker room. It's like, that's because you guys are all stupid.
Yeah,
you guys are stupid as fuck. Yeah. He's like intelligent.
You read all the Ayn Rand books. Doesn't mean you're fucking smart.
Oh my God.
He had his wife read Fountainhead to him, and then everybody thinks he's a fucking genius. Like, what the fuck?
I think I got 100 pages in, and I was like, this is fucking drivel. I'm gonna go
X-Pac read it to
hit
him.
my head against a brick wall. I'm better off.
Yeah, exactly. There's no reason to read Atlas Shrugged, people.
So next.
Anyway,
we get Eddie versus Test for the European Championship.
This was a mixed bag.
You get to see Eddie. I think that's the only real benefit.
He made this.
Test, I enjoyed Test like as a wrestler, you know, like there were some spots in this match where I was like, you know, maybe Test was a little bit better than like I remember, because he hit like a good, like that great spinning power bomb, and like he had some cool moves like for as a big man. But like I don't know what what was his character, man? Like there was nothing I connected with Test ever.
He was Stephanie McMahon's loser spurned lover. He was a big dude who kind of looked like Triple H, and he was in the ring with Eddie Guerrero. So when you think his stuff looks good, he's wrestling Eddie Guerrero, who could literally wrestle liquefied dog shit and make it look good.
He did here.
Yes.
Because I think this. I think Test was great. I do. But I think, and I'm not even trying to be funny, but I'll say this. I think this was during the Dart Test days, because it was just like, man, he'd hit something and you'd be like, like what you said, you'd be like, man, Test was fucking better than I remember. And then the next thing, his legs caught in the rope so bad that everyone in the building has to get him out. And you're like, oh shit. You kind of have that Lex Luger syndrome, kind of like, looked great, had great moments, but then it was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, right. Weird. And like Luger's best stuff in the 80s was against Flair. And again, that's like the Eddie Guerrero of his day. You know, you're wrestling the very best. Of course you look great, you know.
Luger was a body.
Hey,
was it?
Luger had aura. Okay, which Test did not. And Luger, I loved Luger when I was a kid. And then as I got older and like watched wrestling for a long time, I was like, oh, yeah. Also, Luger always did that.
I'll be completely honest. Like, if you're a shit wrestler, but like you can get your character over with me, like I'll overlook it. You know,
that's like, what's awesome about wrestling. If you have a great gimmick, you can be a bad wrestler. Look at John Cena. He's not a good wrestler.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't care what anybody says.
We'll talk about it when we get to the main event. I have some thoughts.
Yeah. For sure.
Right. So anyway, that was a whatever match. It was fine. I love Eddie. Yep. Rest in peace. One of the greatest of all time.
R.I.P.
Not a spectacular match by any means.
He did what he could.
Yep. Next, we get Kamala on a desk.
Well, hold on. Troubles. Yeah. Sorry.
Dean Malenko. I had to write this down because I felt so strongly about it.
I wonder if it's the same thing I was thinking.
Dean Malenko in cowboy boots is a vibe. Okay? We gotta like respect that man's name going forward. Okay, I think that needs to be a sign.
Can I say something like... Maybe it's because I was a kid, you know, but like I thought I was like, this guy's supposed to be cool. Like he's out there in his like tucked in button up flower shirt and like dad jeans and cowboy boots. That's not cool. Like Jeff Hardy's cool.
The thing is, I was such a mark for Dean in WCW. Like so,
but you're a little bit older, you know, so it's like you gotta think.
That one out.
It was just she just
well,
says
I mean,
it
back
so
when we were,
casually.
Think about it. Okay, so you were 21 and I was 13. Like that's a lot different than like it feels different than the gap.
Let's just
be clear.
We're talking about wrestling here. Nothing weird happened. Okay. Okay, but Dean Malenko was so great, but he was the guy that I was like, he's gonna struggle. Like, and I think he was retired I think he retired this year. This year that that this show took place because they just couldn't find anything for him to do. Then they made him like a sexual predator, where he's stalking Lita and shit. Yeah. Like what the fuck? That was weird. But Dean just wasn't cut out for that shit. He's just this dude. Like
I mean, you've got him next to Eddie Guerrero, who's just cool as fuck. And then Perry Saturn's in the fuzzy Jamiroquai hat. Like,
well, and Perry was willing to do whatever too. Like,
dude, Perry Saturn, man,
he was great.
He was.
He got Moppy over.
Oh my god, dude, I love Perry Saturn.
They did that to punish him,
and
because he almost killed a jobber, and he was being an asshole, and he had a massive drug problem. So, like, I get it, but like, they were punishing him. Then he got the gimmick over, and then because he got it over, they took it away.
Yeah,
of course. And like Moppy was hilarious. Like that was awesome. Then they took it away. Then he just fell off. But like, I'm glad Perry's still alive though. He has a very harrowing story, and I'm glad
he does not even look like the same person.
No.
Like
I mean,
it's
dude,
wild.
like you've heard his stories. They're crazy. Crazy. Like people thought he was dead for years. Like nobody even knew what happened to him. Nobody even in wrestling knew. I remember he was on Jericho's show like years ago, and I was like, "Fuck, man! I haven't even thought about Perry in a long time."
Yeah. Moving on, unless anyone has any more thoughts.
Dean Malenko.
Nah. Yeah.
Next we get Kamala on a desk.
Yes.
And then we get Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yep.
This was surreal.
Yeah. It was weird watching it back because I haven't watched WrestleMania X-Seven in a while. But man, yeah, like,
I don't have any trouble watching Benoit matches personally, because I'm like,
I don't, but I feel like I just like, I don't know, like I feel weird giving him his due, you know? Does that make sense?
Sure.
he was one of the best in the world for the time that he did it, and much like the guy that he basically cloned, Dynamite Kid, the business brought out something really dark inside of this guy, and he had a very dark side to him that, as I've read a lot of history of wrestling and people who knew him, like there was a dark side to him before, like 2006. I mean, he was a guy who, like, if you read Sabu's book, he talks about Chris Benoit when Chris Benoit, like, kind of let him accidentally, he didn't mean, Benoit didn't do anything wrong, really. It's just, but when Sabu lands directly on top of his head and breaks his neck, he talks about Benoit being very eager to get him pills, very eager to, like, it was just the industry at the time. And Chris had a pretty dark side. And so I will always grant that. I'm not one of these people that thinks he needs to be honored at all. And if you are, fuck off. You're fucked. You're stupid.
Well, he was also in a very rarefied era where, let's be honest, I mean, even when he was still alive, he got a lot of love. People were already sort of kowtowing to him and giving him his respect. So I don't feel weird about that at all. And I'm one of those people too that I've learned, and I think when you go back into even the very far reaches of wrestling history, you're going to have to start doing a lot of, well, are we just going to eliminate the entire history of the fucking wrestling business? Do you think everyone in that room in 1948, when the NWA was formed, isn't a bunch of misogynist, racist, evil, white pieces of shit? Of course they all were. So you have to kind of go, fuck them. I think the future of wrestling is that.
I think what it is with like Benoit specifically is that, like, he was around, like, with us, you know what I mean? Like think it's kind of the same with music, like this shit that, like, David Bowie and Jimmy Page and, like, every rock star from the 70s, like, shit that they were doing. If you do it now, like people will, like, boycott and stop listening to your shit and, like, stop supporting you and, like, all that kind of stuff. But, like, they'll still listen to musicians that did the same shit, like, back in the day. I think it's
because it's their time and it's the people they grew up with.
It's the relevance to the time.
I just say with Benoit, for me, look, him and Jericho were 1 and 2 for me, and they kind of traded places a lot. And Eddie was like number 3. And so,
I loved Benoit.
I loved Benoit, and
like,
I loved watching him.
Tights.
I loved watching him wrestle.
And he was an amazing wrestler.
And that running, like, hooking clothesline that he did just looked so real, and it looked so great.
Crossface is one of my favorite submissions.
Yeah, and look, this match is awesome. It's a fucking technical tour de force.
I mean, Angle, one of the best ever.
Angle, come on.
Oh, yeah.
And also, this era of Kurt Angle's my favorite. When he was funny, and he was, like, not super thwacked out on fucking drugs yet. And he was like, he did that thing where he'd fall, like, crying like he won the Olympics every time he won. And he asked, but he cheats. And this was where, like I said, you're getting towards the end of Vince McMahon being kind of brilliant, where he understood that Kurt would be hated by the wrestling audience. And he got over as a heel before he ever became a babyface. And that's the modern template now, is like, if you have a great heel run, the crowd will love you. Hi, Ricochet. I mean, it's true. It's true.
So after that, we get some military bullshit,
Oh, very creepy knowing that this is pre 9/11, by the way. I'm like, we were gearing up, were we? Wow. All right.
We were getting all ready.
Dude, go listen to some Limp Bizkit. That's pre-war music, man.
Like, fuck yeah, it is.
Then we get China versus Ivory.
Yeah, this was awesome.
Yeah.
This bittersweet though, because you know that this is the end, really, of
Yeah.
China and WWF, and it's
It's the end of her
so
wrestling
ridiculous.
career, mostly. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was funny watching it now because I'm like, oh, like like her attire, it's almost like, oh, this is kind of like pre-Megan Bain.
Yes.
Because this was when China went away from like the dominatrix look, and she was just kind of like a glamour Amazon, a glamazon, you know.
She had
like,
been in
the little
Playboy by this
headband.
point, and she was like a star, you know,
Yeah.
like a legit star. She was very popular. You know, it's so hard to explain to people how big wrestling was at this time. I don't think I don't know what would ever allow it to be that big again. I don't know that it can be, just the way the world is so hyper segmented now, and there isn't
I honestly like when you started saying that was what started going through my head is like, I think what helped it back then was like we all watched the same television.
Right. That's what I
You
mean.
know,
There isn't
like,
a funnel like television anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
So it was like, because I mean, for as popular as wrestling is now, like, if I go down the street and ask 10 people about Roman Reigns, maybe like 2 will know who that is.
Or even heard his name before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But back in this time, if you would have said The Rock or Stone Cold, like, people knew who it was, even if they didn't watch
5 out of 10
wrestling.
at least back then, which is wild.
Like,
And you had-
everyone knew about it, like, knew it, you know?
And you had Celebrity Death Match with Austin
Yeah,
on it.
yeah,
You
yes.
had, like, basically, like, the way that Beyonce is a star right now, like, China was, like, almost like that. Like, she was, like, that
100%.
level of star for a few years, you know, where it was, like...
I mean, they were doing appearances on SNL. Like,
The Rock hosted SNL. I mean,
they had
you know,
WWE New York, which was like, you know, kind of like a cool hangout.
They had Jimmy
for
Snuka
celebrities
there
and
for the
stuff.
show, which I was
Yeah.
like, hi, murderer. Cool.
Yeah, Snuka
Hey,
Cool
bud.
Lady.
the internet was the worst thing to ever happen to Jimmy Snuka.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, was
yeah. Whew. A lot of those
Anyway.
gimmick battle royal guys, too, but yes.
Yes.
Next, we get a segment where Vince is making sure that Linda McMahon, who is in a wheelchair, is properly catatonically medicated because he's fucking around with Trish at the time. And
I loved Trish, by the way. Oh,
yeah.
My God.
yeah.
God. Holy
And
shit,
so,
she's still
yeah. So this was one of them weird family storylines with Vince McMahon. But then we go into Shane versus Vince.
a much
Vince
better
is
match
one
than
of
it
the
had
worst.
any right to be. I will
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, Vince is the worst wrestler. Like,
He's a
The
clumsy
man-
fucking oaf. Like,
yeah.
he's
Like,
just
yeah.
willing to do anything. Like,
Yeah, you know. And here's what I gotta say: shitty human being.
totally. Yeah.
But I mean, the man was willing to embarrass himself on live television. So I
He-
guess, like,
Pissed himself on TV
He really
on
pissed-
purpose. On purpose to make a gag funny with Austin.
He full peed.
oh God,
Like that wasn't trick pee. He legit pissed. And everybody will confirm that. But this was kind of the beginning of the end of the Mr. McMahon character, in my opinion. Because
Yeah.
this is from here, Vince goes completely off the fucking rails. Like this is like after this WrestleMania, like I remember so many of my buddies were like really into the like diva stuff and all that, but like Diva Search and all that stuff, like that became like a third of the show, you know, like
Yeah.
I just noticed myself watching less and less, like, and this storyline is so fucking cringy when you watch it now. It's like, it was pretty cringy then, but it's real cringy now. And,
Yeah.
the only redeeming factor in any of it is that Linda obviously fakes, you know, being in an act that mirrors real life. Linda is very hip to what Vince is pulling, knows he's a philandering piece of shit. is not medicated, rises from her seat to kick Vince in the nuts. And then Trish also reveals that she has turned on Vince and kicks him in the nuts as well.
Stephanie McMahon, very much of the era out there with crimped hair and a hoodie that says Daddy's Girl in rhinestones on the back.
God, that was so gross.
I hate Stephanie.
Can we talk about Shane's wrestling attire for a second, though? Like,
yes, please.
It never changed. I mean, it was always the same.
Windbreaker pants and an
Absolutely.
XXL Wrestlemania baseball jersey.
I hated about it was I went, okay, so hold on. You just bought WCW and it is nowhere on you anywhere. If you want me to believe this is even half real after WrestleMania, wouldn't you have the fucking logo on your shit? You'd be like, fuck yeah, Dad. Look, I'll put it this way. If I was going to fight my dad, I'd put the thing he hates the most on my shirt. You know what I mean?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
That's a great point. I had never even thought of that.
Ridiculous.
And then they show the WCW guys way up in the fucking rafters, like,
and Johnny Ace is there.
There's like anyone remembered him?
I think Lance Storm is up there. Like,
Mike Awesome and him were the only stars.
Another guy that they totally fucking didn't do well at all. Like, what the fuck, man? You have Mike Awesome, dumb fucks. Anyway.
Shout out Lance Storm.
Shane McMahon, I just got to talk about this for a minute, okay? I know plenty of wrestling fans. I have talked to plenty of wrestling fans. To me, Shane was always a poser dork who was never, ever cool, not even for 1 second of his entire life. His best role was with the Mean Street Posse, being a lackey to his dad. And that's not even like a diss. Like, he was just good at it. But Jesus Christ, this dude has gotten so much undeserved airtime and so much undeserved pay-per-view time. They made poor AJ Styles make him look good in a WrestleMania match, which actually turned out to be a good match because of AJ Styles. But
I will say, dude,
Shane sucks.
But he was willing to do some shit. Like,
he was. I mean, look, the guy was like, he could do some crazy spots. He was mildly athletic. I'll give him that.
Like, elbow off the Titantron was shit. As a kid, I fucking popped. I
watched that live.
That was so cool. Oh, you were there?
No, but like I watched the pay-per-view. Wasn't it like
same.
2000 or something? Yeah.
Yeah, or was it Backlash? I don't remember.
One of those. It was insanity.
Also, when Blackman knocked him off the scaffolding at SummerSlam, whatever that was. Also, though, can I ask, there's another example of this. Why would you elbow drop somebody from that height? Like, just jump on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're less protected by elbow dropping them, unless he wouldn't have been landing on a crash pad, would he? No. But
what is that?
But yeah, I'm not a Shane guy at all. But it is crazy to me how many people love Shane McMahon, like love him.
Not gonna lie, buddy. When I was 10 years old, I thought Shane McMahon ruled.
This is where me being older,
the pants. I loved the stupid shirt. Like, I'll put it like this: he really dressed the part. Like, he looked like a rich kid's fucking spitting image. Like, that's exactly what they looked like back then. And
when he was with Rodney and Joey Abs and Pete Gas and all of that was funny shit.
Their entrance music was so perfect too.
The Mean Street Posse, all that stuff.
Is that like little Goomba music? Like, it was so good.
God, little poops.
All right. Then we got TLC 2, man, which like that was the shit I was for as a kid. Like, that match blew my mind. Anytime, I love tag team wrestling, and it's because of the trio of Edge and Christian, Hardys, and the Dudleys. Like, Dudleys are my favorite tag team. Bubba's an idiot. Fuck. But it's my favorite tag team, you know? Like, this shit was just, it was what I was into every single week. Like, they were why I wanted to watch. I've talked about this match so much. I'll let y'all talk about it.
I mean, this is the modern wrestling style today. Is this match? I mean, nothing else. And up to here, we had good matches and stuff. There's a couple of them I would say that would be on par with something modern now. Mm-hmm. But this was what pushed it forward more than anything else. If you weren't a Hardy's fan, you were a Dudley's fan, or you were an Edge of Christian fan. Period. Every single time those three entities came together, it was perfect. This was no different. You had Rhino show up, which was a big deal, by the way, at the time, because people have to remember they just bought ECW.
And he was the last ECW champion.
Sure. Right. And no one was sure at the time what this WCW purchase meant for ECW. Right. It was like that limbo thing. And that was really the thing that when I think about it, I'm like, it is so funny in hindsight. Like everyone talks about the WCW purchase because it was such a big deal, like mainstreamish wise. But really the wrestling fan was like, what are they going to do with ECW though? What's Tommy Dreamer going to do? What's fucking Sandman? Are they going to have Sandman? Like, I just remember like Sabu and Sandman are going to come to, like just the old, watching this brought back the recess talk that I would think of. Like, no, dude, I swear Steve Corino is gonna fucking be at WrestleMania. Dude, and he's gonna help Shane, like the stupidest shit.
It could have been the best thing ever if they had done it with any care. And Lance will tell you, I do have the honor of occasionally being able to talk with Lance Storm about stuff like this, but he will tell you that they really did want to do something big with all of this, but when they looked at the cost, it was really going to be to bring in, they were also going public, right around this time. So it was like, they had bigger concerns than just what would be cool to do. Yeah. And the wrestling fans did, the invasion thing was so bad, like so bad.
Worst fumble ever.
A huge fumble. Like, you have this is like Sting not beating Hogan clean at Starrcade 97. Bad. Yeah. Like,
oh, for sure.
But I think that, I think the original intention was to do something really big, and then they just didn't. And it was going to be too expensive to buy people out of their contracts. So they just didn't. And that's why it didn't work.
It was the last Jim Crockett, fuck you, I guess, was all those contracts. Vince went, shit, I got a lot of money. Well, how much for like Bill Goldberg? Mm-hmm.
No, Lita came out and took her shirt off.
That was dope. Everyone liked that. Then and now.
I was a Lita fella.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
For
sure.
And then Edge and Christian won.
As they did, like all the time. Every single TLC.
All those matches. I thought that was a cool touch. I thought that was, that they had the same guys win every match,
Yeah.
But then which is wild, because
they had, to me, like back then, like they were like the third favorite of that tag team. Like I feel like between me and my friends and stuff, it seemed like you were either Hardy's or Dudley's.
And it was Hardy's by a landslide in the country, let me tell you. Like,
not me.
All my buddies.
Yeah. There was one time where every day for a week, I went to school in the white and black and gray camo pants and the long sleeve Devon Get the Tables shirt. Wow. I wore it every day for a week to school.
Yeah, well, and see, so this is where like wrestling conversations get really lopsided, right? Like, I don't like Bully Ray. Okay, I think he's an idiot.
Of course.
Yeah.
I think he's a buffoon.
Yeah.
I think he's he's laughable clown. Okay. However, the dude was a really good wrestler. And like the Dudleys kicked ass. They were awesome. And they went from being like an ECW, like ha 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 kind of team to being like a fantastic tag team. They are one of the best tag teams ever.
When they first showed up in WWE, like they were still like the tie-dye shirts, like Bubba was stuttering a bunch and all that. They were kind of a goofy gimmick. Right. But then when they like switched to the camo, like they just became these like badasses. Like, yeah, they were like Hicks from Dudleyville or whatever, but like they were, to me, they were the badass team out of the group. Like the Hardy Boys were the high flying flamboyant ones. The Dudleys were the badasses, and then Edge and Christian were the shithead heels, you know?
Right. Yeah, pretty much. But I think that at the end of the day, like, you know, you can dislike Bully. I mean, look, the wrestling business is like every other sport except 10 times worse. Okay. Like, there are so many douchebags. Yeah. Like, I don't think people understand how good we have it now that there's actually quite a few people that it feels fairly safe to admire on some level.
Yeah.
Because most of my life as a wrestling fan was like, they're all dicks. They're all bad people. Like, I don't want to know what you voted for. Like, shut up about it.
Well,
like, please.
Speaking of, we get the gimmick battle royal next.
Yeah.
And
I enjoyed this myself.
Michael P.S. Hayes coming out in a sparkly Confederate cape. Like,
God. That's right. Buddy. That's right. Holy
You remember
shit.
when that was just like a thing? Like, I mean, people are trying to still keep it a thing, but like,
I mean, I grew up in Arkansas, so that was a thing for a while.
Let's talk about Muskogee, right?
I was always, exactly. And I mean, I was always weird about it.
An Okie from Muskogee.
Hell yeah.
Little Merle Haggard for you.
Yeah.
The shit. This new country, let me tell you. Just start going on a rant about that, like at all. Gimmick Battle Royal. It does fit Michael P.S. Hayes, though. He'd be all about an old country music conversation in many ways. Confederate flag included.
Yeah, I feel like country music in like I feel like a lot of wrestlers like back in that time were just country music fans. Like The Rock was, you know, like
oh yeah. Well, you know,
The Rock
was
a huge country guy. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to go back to, you know, the foundations of wrestling really kind of survived in the South, you know. For a long time. A lot of the top territories of all time, Southern territories, and a lot of those guys were in this match. So that was interesting.
Yeah. Oh, dude, they had so many great ones. I mean, they even had the gobbledygooker.
Right.
Awesome. Hector got a payday. Good for him.
Hector Guerrero got a payday. Yeah, that's right. And I actually have the full list of participants here.
There we go.
You know what I loved? It was Bobby Heenan, because him and Gene Okerlund were doing the commentary. Just
literally the last time Bobby Heenan was on TV.
Yeah.
Hearing in 2001 Bobby Heenan yell, "The Gooker's gone!"
Oh God.
Yeah, I thought about that today, actually, when I went to work, oddly enough. I thought about, I'm doing a podcast today, and for whatever reason, I thought about that. That actually was Bobby Heenan's final commentary job of all time. And it really, I think he'd be happy with it. You know, like if you could have asked him, like, are you good with that? He'd be like, that's perfect for me. I'm a used car salesman gimmick. I should be. My final thing should be the gimmick battle royal. Like, perfect.
Yep. No, he you know, and then him and Mean Gene did a few little backstage skits as well. It was cool that they got to see each other off. In addition to Jim Ross, I would say Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan were like the voices of my early days in wrestling. And them as a team was just unfucking believable. I loved Bobby, man. But okay, so the full list of participants, we have the Bushwhackers.
Classic.
Duke the Dumpster Drosy, guy
him.
Who never got a world title run and didn't deserve it either. Doink the Clown, Nikolai Volkov, Tugboat. By the way, guys, I just watched the Dark Side of the Ring on John Tenta, Earthquake.
Yeah.
How fucking cool is Fred Ottman, man? How cool is
He's
Tugboat?
the best.
Yeah.
He came across
cool
as such a nice, great dude. What a great guy. The
Uncle
Goon,
Fred.
Wild Bill Irwin. The Goon. Come on, the hockey guy.
Yeah. Wow.
Earthquake was in this
you
match.
know what, man? I think I love the concept. I love a goon. Like I don't watch hockey, but like
I love it.
Like, I mean, I like storytelling, like I feel like I've had, so I used to write like rip off Tarantino movies like as a kid, just that kind
That's
of
normal.
vibe, like that Pulp Fiction kind of vibe,
Yeah.
But like I feel like I'm always trying to find a way to like shoehorn someone who used to be a goon in hockey, but now they're like a mercenary or like, something like that, or like a hitman or something. I don't know. I just love because I like, okay, in Inglourious Bastards, when it's like Hugo Stiglitz and the thing goes like with like his name on the screen, and then it cuts back to him like stabbing Nazis in the neck. Like it would be that, but then it would go to clips of him like, or a clip of him of like he got kicked out of the NHL for like taking his skate off and like slashing a dude in the neck on the ice,
I think this is a very, very strong train of thought, to be honest.
Oddly specific.
Yeah, I had that scene in my head since I was a kid. I want to write it into something.
I'm just not going to edit any of this episode. I'm just putting this out raw and unvarnished. I think that's what we got to do this time.
I hope so. I hope so.
We're going to go ape shit. This is going to be a long ass episode, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah. All right. Keep going.
Amazing.
We got the gobbledygooker, the gooker, Brother Love.
Yeah.
Michael, simple kind of man, Hayes. One man gang.
We like One Man Gang.
One Man Gang.
Dude, One Man Gang's the coolest guy in this thing, I think.
Man, former UWF champ.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I loved One Man Gang. It's unfortunate he had to be a Kim. Kimchi. Who was probably played by Steve Lombardi, I would imagine, the Brooklyn Brawler.
Rules.
Jim Cornette was in this.
Yeah.
Repo Man, I'm a Darso Mark. I'm a Darso
Huge
Mark.
Repo Man guy here too, because I'm a little younger.
Demolition just signed a Legends deal with WWE. They better make a Repo Man figure. I'm buying that shit.
I'll make a Repo Man. I'll get one.
Like,
too.
what was going on with Repo Man? Like, he stole Bret Hart's jacket. He had tire tracks all like you got run over. Like, what the fuck is this gimmick?
He stole
lost.
hat.
But look at him as Smash, and then look at him as Repo Man. He lost so much weight. He got in phenomenal shape. Barry Darso forever, baby. I'm a Repo Man forever. Awesome. Dude, if they could get a Skinner figure and like all those dumb occupational, like a Duke the Dumpster Drosy figure, give me a fucking break, man.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Sergeant Slaughter, Stolen Valor, Sergeant Slaughter.
Yep. Great.
Well, after this, we get the Austin Rock My Way promo, which, my goodness, the grip that video had on me as a child.
The only appropriate use of Limp Bizkit is this promo. Everything else they've ever done should be erased, but go ahead.
Oh, shit. We're missing a match.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
We're missing Triple H and Taker.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The
Paul
match.
and Mark.
No. We didn't erase it. WWE did. Remember, they pretended this match never happened in the first time.
That's true.
So the WrestleMania in 2011, they fought each other for the first, what WWE portrayed as the first time, even though they clearly had a WrestleMania match back at 17.
Yeah. It was a big deal.
It's the semi-main of the show.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I will say that this match has a very funny moment where Taker chokeslams Triple H off, clearly lands on a crash pad, and it looks so obvious. You cannot suspend disbelief.
You know what sucks? This match was a perfect example of, man, it sucks when you find out, like, the people you look up to, like, don't agree with you having rights. Because if I'm being honest, like, I loved Triple H as a kid. Like, I thought he was one of those guys to me who was aura. I loved his aura. I loved his like presentation. I loved the Motorhead music, He was a good foil for the baby faces a lot, and he was even good as a face,
Right.
And then one of my favorite gimmicks of the era was American Badass Undertaker. Because, I mean, like I said, I was 13 at the time. So you've got this badass fucking biker dude coming out to Limp Bizkit. Like, I'm all about that shit.
Yeah.
And he's
coming
like,
out on a motorcycle, like...
Yeah, Blue Lives.
Oh,
damn it.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Damn it.
Blue Lives.
I want everyone in the audience to know
Pass.
that I'm actually wearing a shirt right now that says bottoms and tops. We all hate cops.
Yes.
Yeah, just a
Pretty
reminder
glorious.
to everybody.
I'm wearing a blue shirt, but it's a Ken Griffey Jr. shirt. You can't see
Wearing
it.
a Sickos
Ken
club.
Griffey. Oh, you wear a
Sickos
Sickos
Club. I've heard of those
shirt?
guys.
I fucking am.
Yeah, I heard that'd be
look at
cool.
that. Look at
I heard
that
Oh,
right
hey,
there.
hey.
Oh, that's an
Audio
OG.
only podcast.
That's
but
an
he is
OG
wearing
one.
The OG.
That was like just Ghost.
That was the Just Ghost days when Ghost was a solo
Yeah.
artist, and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
then
I heard that Sickos Club, they might be having some new merch dropping fairly soon.
I heard
So-
that at the beginning of this episode that they had merch going right now. Actually,
Yeah.
Wait, are we putting new merch out when?
oh,
I forgot the date.
I don't think we
anyway,
should say it on the show.
Should we?
No, we should not.
Oh, okay. We'll surprise you. So anyway, and then we get Austin and Rock, man, which this was my rivalry as a kid. Like,
Yeah.
and you know what it was? You know what I think makes, like, I don't think there was anybody else, save for maybe Chris Jericho, that could match energy the way that Rock and Austin did. Like, because if they didn't have the chops on the mic that they both did in their own way, one of them would have eaten the other alive. Like, because they could. Like,
Absolutely.
And that was the idea back then.
Yeah.
You know, if
No,
you
you're
didn't
like-
hang, you weren't going to.
Right. Well, and both of those guys also had the full, like, they were made. So, like,
Yeah.
Rock still does this. And, like, he's an asshole, honestly. Is like, he will go off script and choose somebody up who can't go off script because they
Yeah.
will get in deep shit if they do. And
Yeah.
Dwayne will eat them for fucking lunch. Cena does it too sometimes.
Yeah.
He did it to Roman super hard.
That was
some
great.
years back. I think it actually was good for Roman in the long run. He got a lot better after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, these were two guys who could go on the mic, go in the ring. But it's like if Hogan and Warrior had 3 or 4 matches, you know, it was like
yeah.
Yeah.
your two very biggest. I mean, to have
And you know what I think made it so great too was like they were like there was almost you had to pick one because you couldn't keep one a face over the other because even then you still had that split between fans of like
Yeah.
who was going to be
Right.
number one.
Right.
And I say they came out of it 1A and 1B, you know.
they absolutely. I mean, they were both top
yeah.
guys. I think Austin was a little bigger
Yeah,
as a star.
For sure.
In the wrestling business, obviously, Dwayne ended up being a much bigger star than Austin. But like, I would say Austin was always my dude. Like, I go all the way back to the Stunning Steve.
I was the
Same.
rock kid, you know, because I got in a little
Sure.
bit. I started getting into it, you know, around 97, 98, 99 were like my first few years into it. And so that was when The Rock was like coming up as like the hot new face. You were waiting for him to win that title and he finally did, you know. And so that was like my guy, you know. I mean, I loved Austin. He was my 1B. And like, I think that's how it came out. Like for me anyway, it was like, there wasn't one that was above the other when they were together. You know what I mean? It was just magic. And I think that they, in their minds, like, because I've heard it in interviews, you know, like talk about, they kind of thought of it that way. It was like, you know, Austin had just come back from his neck surgery and everything. And he was wondering if he was going to be able to be the guy again. And so, like, when he, in that promo where they sit down with JR and he's like, I need this, Rock. I need this more than anything you can imagine. Like he said, like he meant that. Like he needed to know that he could still be the guy. And I think like, I mean, you know, the ending, people didn't love it. As a kid, I was into it. Cause I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like like as JR says at the end of the match, like, you know, he just sold his soul to the devil. Like his number one enemy in life was Vince McMahon, and he just got to deal with him for the title.
Right.
Like, you son of a bitch. But one thing we were talking about earlier that I wanted to get to with this match was, you know, guys who maybe aren't the most amazing in the ring, but if they can get over, I can overlook that. Like, The Rock is not the best worker. Like, but he knows how to use his charisma. And I think that's why, even though Jey Uso kind of wrestles the way The Rock did, he doesn't have a sustainable character because he doesn't have the same charisma that The Rock had, you know? Like, he's got the yeet, and that's about it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But The Rock, right. I mean, The Rock got over a fucking elbow drop as a finisher. Like,
okay, that should not have been a finisher, by the way. I loved the people's elbow. When I saw it the first time, I popped so hard. But he didn't pin the guy with it. And then he started
against British Bulldog.
Yeah, he started pinning people with it, and I was like, what the fuck, guys? This is stupid.
I know.
The Rock is like, he was a great athlete, not a great wrestler. And his Scorpion looks terrible.
Awful.
Like, it's one of the worst I've ever seen. It doesn't look like, it's like Cena's STF. It's that bad.
Yeah.
Like, Cena, like, who doesn't actually pull back on the STF. But like, there's like, look, John Cena's got more holes in his work than almost anyone I've ever seen in a main event role. But I will say, Rock was all personality. Austin, there's just no holes in that guy's work. He doesn't do shit that he can't pull off. And, you know, he himself has crapped on his heel turn. A lot of fans have crapped on his heel turn. I loved it. I thought it was great. Too. I thought it was the only place they could go. Yeah. From there. Like,
and him with Kurt Angle as his little lackey is so fucking gold. It's a shame they didn't get that longer. You know what I mean? They fucked around, and I don't remember what even happened, but Austin ended up going babyface again.
Well, the ratings started tanking. And I mean, they were losing people like left and right all summer long. And I loved it because, like, I loved when Austin got jealous of Kurt and like McMahon giving so much attention to Kurt. And the next time McMahon shows up in a scene, Austin just immediately hugs him in front of Kurt. So like little kid, like, that's my dad. Like, I loved it.
One of my favorites from when Austin was like the funny bad guy was during the invasion, and he's on, you know, with Vince McMahon, or with, I forget what, you know, but Vince is like telling him the plan or something, and Austin's just standing there, and he's repeating everything, you know, so he's like, what we got to do is we got to be prepared, and Austin's like, yeah, be prepared, and he just keeps repeating everything, and then he looks at Undertaker, who's just like scowling at him, and he just like looks down and stops.
That was it's a shame no one gave a fuck about wrestling back then. And I just thought about this too. We got Austin and Angle legitimately, when you think about it, only because Triple H got injured.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine what those promos were going to be. Holy shit, we dodged a bullet.
Dog shit.
Okay, so the match.
Let's Steve.
The match itself, though, this match itself was exciting as hell.
Super unbelievable.
Dude,
super fun.
These two had such chemistry in the ring, and I think it was, again, like, their styles just complemented each other so much, because Austin, like, this was after the neck injuries, and, you know, as the Stone Cold character, he was more of the brawler now than a technician or anything.
Right.
So, like, they didn't have to do any big, crazy spots or anything like that. Like, it was just the aura of them, like, together. Like, the back and forth finisher stealing and everything. Like, one of my favorite moments in this match is in the opening. Like, during their entrances, when you get Rock up on the turnbuckle, his music playing and the lights going and everything, and he's looking down at Austin, who's just slumped over in the corner kind of, and he's just got this grin on his face. But it's not, it's like in only the way Stone Cold could, you know, with his eyes kind of beating, and like, man, that look was just like, that was the era, man.
Steve was a world-class entertainer. Just, he's not an actor, he's a wrestler. And he got wrestling on every level. And he was so funny when he wanted to be. The first time these two guys faced, it was more cartoonish. Like, Austin is against the system. Rocky's the over-the-top, you know, bad guy. And in this one, what I thought was interesting is they had both been baby faces for a long time. And there was this edge to this build where it was like Austin had won the Rumble for the last time. You know, he wasn't gonna be buddies with Rock. They weren't gonna do the, hey, I respect you, shake hands, hug each other, and then wrestle. They tried to kill each other right from the jump. And so when McMahon comes down at the end, it's a great juxtaposition, right? Because like McMahon came down at the end of The Rock beating Mankind and did the Montreal Screwjob finish thing. And now he's doing it to screw The Rock and side with Austin. It's the most like what just happened finish of all time. And for those who don't remember, Austin basically just mutilates The Rock with a chair until he just doesn't get up anymore. And finally pins him. And they shake hands at the end. And Austin always says, you know, I should have just hit Vince with a stunner afterwards. I don't think so. You know, you can look at the business side of it. The Stone Cold character was stale. And the Stone Cold character was losing steam. And something needed to change. And Steve was smart to recognize that. I hold and I maintain that if the rest of the invasion angle had even remotely resembled what it could have, Austin easily could have stayed heel. And it wouldn't, it's not his fault. He was a great heel. Like I will always maintain Steve was a fan-fucking-tastic heel.
Yeah. Oh, when they did the 2-man power trip, that was fucking great. Like, I was into that. I liked it.
But just WCW.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, you know, making Austin the leader of the invasion, you know, because that was clearly, that just muddled everything. And I think that, you know, Austin even being affiliated with all of that was just kind of a mess. Yeah. And then Shane turned heel again, and like, it just was like, what the hell's happening here? And then ECW and WCW became part of it together, and it was just like, you're killing these guys. That was when I knew
it was over.
You're killing these guys. And Heyman and Stephanie and Shane were all a part of it.
They didn't have like the big names from WCW.
Not until a year later, and it was too late by then. You know,
if they would have had Sting, and I hate to give him credit, Goldberg, I mean, they had Booker. That was all they had.
But Booker didn't come in till later. Like,
Book came in shortly after this. It wasn't too long.
But it wasn't before this.
No, it wasn't at Mania.
He didn't come in that first run of like Invaders.
True.
No, I think he I think he was a little later, and then
he showed up at another pay-per-view to
fuck The Rock over, I believe, right?
It was Austin. That's how they got Austin out of
and then we get the fucking grocery store.
Because it was him, Benoit, and Jericho on a triple threat for King of the Ring 01. And Booker debuts, kills him.
Just eyes bugging, like, oh my God.
It was fucking great.
Just
in the
so
oversized slacks.
Oh my God. Booker T looked like he was just like, he looked like his heart was about to explode, man.
I'm sure it might have been.
Just, goodness. That was a good debut, man. I loved it. I was like, oh my God, it's fucking Booker T.
Yeah. That was like the end of any hope for the invasion, though, in hindsight. It was like, that was like the peak, like, Booker's here. And immediately it went to shit. Like, Lance got the IC, and then it was like shit after that, you know?
Well, and then, I mean, look, I love Steve. I've just gassed up Steve a bunch. He'd probably be somewhere close to my Rushmore if he's not on it. But like that promo where he said Lance was boring, that was the end of Lance Storm. That was the end of Lance.
Yeah.
And, Lance retired not too soon after that. And I'm not saying it's because it didn't land the way he wanted it to in WWE. I have no idea what his motivations were, but, he did become one of the greatest trainers in the business for a long time. And he still works for TNA to this day. So, mad props to Lance Storm, and
just a nice dude.
Oh yeah.
Such a
for no reason,
egoless, accessible person. I cannot tell you how many times I have tagged him on Threads or on Blue Sky and just asked him a question. And he just answers
same.
I asked him, who threw the best working punch of anybody he ever worked with? And he said it was actually Dr. Death Steve Williams. He wrestled him in Japan. And when he got backstage, the guys were like, dude, are you okay? Like, are you fine? He's like, dude, he'd never even touched me. Like,
wow.
But Dr. Death was badass in his prime.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
God damn you, Brawl for All.
Yeah.
God damn you.
Yeah. I have a question. What's your favorite Rock theme? Because this one, he had the one where it kept going, The Rock says.
I think that's actually my favorite one. I don't like the Hollywood one.
The first one, yeah.
I don't like the Hollywood one. I like it.
I loved the Hollywood. It's not my favorite. But I love the slow one. Like, oh, dude, when he came back, it's just like that piece of shit. Fucking with like the 10-minute intro. Like,
yeah,
it fit what he was doing, and like because he was Hollywood Rock when I saw him. Because I was at 19 when he beat Austin in his last match, and so. And I don't count that Kevin Owens bullshit. Sorry, guys.
No,
that was just like a brawl. Like, it was fun. It was a fun brawl with Kevin Owens bumping like a motherfucker. But, I love you, Kevin Owens. Hope your neck gets better soon.
Yes.
But, we'll say he was supposed to be the heel in that match. And we cheered both of them. We loved both of them. And when he won at the end, it was really cool. Because you kind of got the feeling in the air. Nobody had said Austin was retiring, but there was something about that match that had just been built in such a way where it was like, wonder what they're going to do with Steve. And then it was like on Raw that they announced on the website, they announced like his neck's too bad. He just can't do it anymore. So,
well, it was a perfect way to go out, because like, I mean, that was his biggest feud was Rock. They had already had 2 WrestleMania matches before that, and Austin came out on top for both of them. And so this was The Rock finally getting one over on old Steve,
Finally, he finally got a chance to. And,
kind of poetic in a way, Like,
absolutely.
I thought that was, I mean, just having the retirement be like at the end of the trilogy to me is just like that's storytelling, like your biggest rival finally puts you down. Like, man, beautiful stuff. My favorite Rock theme though is when it was still it was when he took the Rock says like out of the theme, and the drums were a little quicker. After he said, it was like, if you smell, and rather than being like, dun, 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 it was like, dun, dun.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The fill was a little faster. Yeah. Well, that's folks, this is a long-ass episode, and this has been WrestleMania 17, and I have to edit this, so...
I'm just the host.
I'm just not gonna edit it, Brett. No editing. No editing.
Okay, well, I would like to...
Yeah. You thought we were just having a nice conversation, but I'm going to throw a wrench in things at some point.
Anyway,
should have known better.
Tell us where we can find you.
And listen to you.
Well, I am on YouTube, Troubles Weekly over there. Same thing with Blue Sky. And then, of course, Threads has to be difficult. And I'm Troubles Wrestling Pod over there, as well as on Instagram, but I don't really fuck with that much. Yeah, I'm there all the time, talking shit. It's going to ramp up. We're on Bischoff Beatdown Week here. It's not WrestleMania Week. It's fucking Dance on Eric Bischoff's Grave. We're going to do that. I'm so excited.
You know what's rad that you just made me think of that I thought of this last night was like, oh, this is like a very topical episode this week. We're doing a WrestleMania during WrestleMania week, but
I forgot that it even was WrestleMania week.
Yeah, I forgot.
You know what's crazy? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
That's all I wanted to say. And then I wanted to say thank you so much for joining us, Troubles. I know we've been talking about doing this and having an episode. And this was so much fucking fun. I have now decided that I want to do more pay-per-view review episodes. So thank you for being a part of the first one. I had so much fun. Of
course.
Thank you for being part of this car crash of a conversation.
Fucking, it's an honor.
Blade loves me so much. He gives me so much shit when he knows that I'm a free spirit, man. You can't put me in a box. You can't cage me. I need to be free. I need to emote.
You're the bane of my existence, and I appreciate that. And also, Trubs, it's great to finally meet you. We've been friends online for a long time, so it's nice to finally meet you. People listen to Troubles and what he does. He's one of my favorite people to listen to. I just want to give the ringing endorsement from Crockett to Chaos, from Chaos.
Yes, from Crockett to Chaos.
From Crockett to Chaos is the new pod. I want to be on that fucking thing.
You fucking will be.
And he's a wrestling head. This man loves professional wrestling in a way that very few do. So make sure you check out his stuff. And then again, commerce. Go to sickosclub.com. Go look at the merch. Go support the ACLU. Fucking buy the Pile Drive Fascism shirt or the print or both. Buy 5. Buy them for your friends. Buy them for your mom. Buy them for your goddamn dog. And no, we don't have dog ones. They're just fucking regular ones. So hopefully you have a big ass dog. But whatever you do, buy one of those goddamn shirts. Support the ACLU with us. Resist fascism. Fuck Trump. Fuck goddamn it, revolution. Goodbye.
And I didn't introduce myself at the beginning of the episode, but I am Brett Michelle. If you want to find me, I am at thehardway.pod on all the things, or you can find me at pegme_Bundy on all the things.
You blew my spot.